Alright, second flame. Let's see how it goes. Shouldn't go bad at all since I didn't have any trouble with the first extra big guy. Although this arena is less than ideal, let's see if he follows. Okay, good. This is definitely a more opportune place to fight this boy. Of course, if I dashed into him at the very edge of losing my iframes, that's not really going to help. I'm really not making a lot of wise decisions here, am I? I realized one bad thing about having the Fluke Nest charm equipped is that the fact that it automatically ends up summoning little helpers, as opposed to it being a conscious thing you do, means that you can't really save your soul to do anything else with. So unless you're just rapidly gaining so much soul, you can never do anything else. So I think as much as I love having minions, I might unequip that charm. We'll see. Okay, well, that's another one of those down. Let's move on to the final one, which was at the Kingdom's Edge. It's still a fair ways away no matter which path I take. Really, really wish now that the fast travel system was traveling between the trees, because that would be so much more useful for me, for someone who has already beaten the game. Oh well. Okay, so here we are on the Kingdom's Edge. The lantern should be somewhere off over to the right, and there we go. Oh god, speaking of inopportune places to be fighting one of these jerks, well, I do have plenty of soul, and my helpers do seem to be helping out quite a bit. So if I can just avoid the fireballs, I don't think I'll have too much issue. Really, I just gotta wait for him to do the charging attacks and fail not to bat him back. You know, usually I'm good at video game tennis, but I've been having trouble with these dudes. I'm not sure why. Might just be due to the sheer speed with which they rocket forward. It's so fast that it's really difficult to handle. I'm glad I'm not hurt by boiling water anymore, or that would have been a rather unfortunate circumstance to be in. You know, I might just have to strike the other enemies around, yeah, and let my kids deal with the flame dude. Well, it worked out in the end. Okay, so that is all three. So, to save a little bit of time, especially considering how far I dropped down, whoops, let's quit and reload. I'm so glad the game lets me get away with this. Kinda surprised that Team Cherry hasn't patched how the game loads or anything like that to prevent this, because they seem like the kind of devs that want to reduce those kind of exploits, but maybe it would just be too much hassle doing that. Okay, and before we proceed onward, let's do two things. So, yeah, let's get rid of Glowing Womb in favor of Fluke Nest. I want to try out that grub shotgun version of my fireball spell. If it doesn't end up being all that great, I can always put Glowing Womb back on. And then, while we're in the menu, let's look at this one's entry. Grimmkin Master. Powerful and devoted member of the Grimm Troop. As part of the ritual, it gathers scarlet flame within its torch. A spark of red light's darkest dream. Scarlet nightmares bright and wild. Visions dance and flames do speak. Burn the father, feed the child. Well, that's certainly some interesting prose there. Maybe I'll have some context for it once I proceed with this quest line. I will say I do like how they've integrated the DLC into the base game. I believe you can access all of them as soon as you have the Dream Nails, so you can start doing this stuff reasonably early on. Like Dream Nail was like what, roughly the halfway point of the game, I think, maybe a bit earlier than that. Depends on how you weigh the game's optional content, I guess. And rather than just being like something that's tacked on to the end, it's something you can access fairly early on and do a little bit at a time as you're playing through the game. Of course, for someone who's already beaten it, that doesn't really matter, but if you're just starting, you know, for your first playthrough or you're doing a second playthrough, It makes the DLC a lot better integrated than the Dark Souls method of just plopping it at the end. And I do like that. And really, the only problems I have with this DLC so far, the fetch quest nature, is the fact that I'm doing it all at once. If I was doing this spread out over my first playthrough, I would like it a lot more. As it is, I do still enjoy it. It's just a little bit tedious. Wonderful, wonderful. My kin arrive, and the time has come. This searing fire, it carries well the ritual's promise. Dance with me, my friend. The crowd awaits. Show them you are worthy of a starring role. Yep, boss fight. Okay, hello. He is considerably more fearsome. I think changing my fireball to the grubs was actually a bad idea for this fight. Oh well. Can't do much about it now. My lord, he is fast. How do I avoid those? Yeah, because I guess I just gotta jump over them. And I only just realized, as far as other video game influences go, I think Dracula from Castlevania might be one of them. It's not the only one, of course, and he has a lot of original stuff going on, but just the general appearance and the penchant for fire and fireballs, yeah, that's Castlevania Dracula. Yeah, wow, you do not get any chances to heal, and this guy moves so fast. And his attacks are dynamic too, like that melee attack. Depending on where you are and he are when he does it, it ends up proceeding in a different way. You know, if he's in the air, he'll do an air strike and then go across the ground. If he's on the ground, he'll do a ground sliding strike and then leap into the air. There's just a whole lot of dynamism to his moveset, and it's something that you don't actually see in a lot of the base game's bosses. A few of them, yeah, but a lot of them tend to have just really fixed patterns that, once you know them, it's not too difficult to avoid them. We even saw that a little when I fought the two bosses of the previous DLC. So it's looking like this might be the only boss added with this DLC, but that's fine because it's a good boss fight. And I haven't even gotten all that far in. Yeah, show me... okay. So, obviously fighting Grimm is the capstone to this little mini DLC pack, so I think I'm just gonna look up whatever it is she wants, because I'm just drawing blanks after blank. Oh, I just looked up what it is she does, and boy is it interesting, so I'm assuming my ghost is gonna be outside of the boss arena, but I'm just gonna have the shaman over here retrieve it. It'd be good to make use of his services, since I've only ever done so like once or twice before. And I don't want to risk losing all that Geo because, as it turns out, she's a bit of a merchant. It's interesting. And I'm glad I looked it up because I never would have figured it out on my own. So, yep, here you go, have another meal. And there's my ghost, let's kill it. And now I got my Geo back, which does in fact matter, as you'll see once I talk to Divine. Well, actually there's one thing I need to do before that, and I feel like they don't really hint at what she wants all that well, because... well, I was right in that it was a charm, but it was none of the charms I thought it would be. Do I still need Grimchild for fighting this dude? I don't think so. It's unequip it, since otherwise it's not useful. Let's just get rid of everything. Yeah, the fragile charms. You know how they're fragile and breakable, and that's kind of an annoying thing to have to deal with? Turns out this DLC added a way to deal with it. If you talk to her with any of these equipped... ah... that charm, beautiful, most precious thing, little lovely. Will you let me see it? Have to show it to me. So yeah, you can show her these charms. Ah, ah. Such a little beauty, such a smell, such a smell. Ah. Ah, so good, so tasty, a perfect, perfect thing just for me. Ah. Well, that was rather rude. Beautiful, delicious, ah. You're good, little lovely, you're very sweet to bring me such a gift. The one who made my gift, ah, somewhere below, yes? Very good gift, very tasty, delicious. Do you want something, little lovely? You don't want to take my gift back, do you? You're not one of those re-gifters, are you? Ah, so nasty, so cruel if that's true. Once you give something as a gift, it's lost to you forever. A gift? For you? So greedy. But I can show something if you're nice to me, little lovely. Will you do a nice thing, lovely? Give them to me, your Geo. Give me your Geo, and I'll give you a gift. So yeah, if you pay her exorbitant amounts of Geo after she swallows one of your fragile charms, well... now it's unbreakable. And unbreakable strength. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use it here though, because I do like my magic-based charms. Let's go with unbreakable strength. More damage. Now I'm a spell blade, as opposed to, you know, just a mage. Okay, so, Grimm Troop Master, take 2. Hopefully it goes a little bit better this time. Oh, okay, so I do need the Grimm Child. Fair enough. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but no such luck. So sorry, Unbreakable Strength. I just spent a lot of money on you, but I'm not going to be able to get to use you. In that case, what's a useful one-notch charm for bosses? I'm sure this is thrilling gameplay, by the way. I am getting damaged a lot, so maybe Thorns of Agony would be helpful. Just do a little bit of extra damage to finish the fight a little bit more quickly. It's not a bad idea. Grub Song would also help in that regard. Let's go with Thorns of Agony, why not? Again, as I kind of said before, there really aren't all that many useful one-notch charms. All the good stuff is 2+. Okay, let's try this again. No words, just straight to action. You can get in one hit before he does anything, I do like that. And yeah, this music, it's not quite what I'd expect out of this game, but I like it. Alright, I'm doing a better job of anticipating his attacks, so that's good. I'm gonna hold back on the spell casting for now until I gather a little bit more soul. God, though, it's tough finding opportunities to actually strike him in melee just because of how swiftly he moves. You gotta plan your own movements perfectly if you actually want to strike him. Of course, having iframes certainly does help. That lets you be a little bit rougher with your movements. That's it? Oh, nope, there we go. Second phase. Okay, I was gonna say. That would have been a bit bad if that had been all it was. Alright, that's not a good time to heal. Maybe after he stops his spam. Oh, if he had done one of his slow attacks, that would have worked out. Oh well. And of course, then he does one of his slower attacks, but I don't have enough soul. That's the rub. Oh, I don't like that fireball volley after he does that upwards attack. Just one more thing to dodge. Well, I guess I do like it because it makes things more difficult, which I like because I like challenge, but I also don't like it if that makes sense. I love how the music gets more hectic when he does this. It's the kind of thing you didn't really see with bosses in the base game, and it's a pretty nice addition. Oh shit. I am not doing well. Okay, there's my time to heal. Why not? Okay. Sure, game. Just screw me over, why don't you? Shit. What? Oh, I think that was the thorns responding. That's why there was that little bit of screen freezing. Yeah, no. I was doing well until I wasn't. Yeah, it's the melee attack where he starts on the ground and then goes up into the air where I have the most amount of trouble. I just don't deal all that well with it. I just gotta do a little bit better at avoiding the attacks I've been having trouble with. Oh, does he actually not have a hitbox doing this phase? Because that magic should have hurt him, but it didn't seem to. Not a huge fan of that, but it's good to know. God, I managed to dodge so many of his attacks without taking damage in that previous encounter, and now I've just lost that ability entirely? I don't know what happened. Oh, okay, thankfully there's a bit of hitbox fudging on those plants. I was actually able to touch one without getting hurt. Nope, that was a bad time to heal. Ooh, this is a good place to get him stuck in, though. And now I have time to heal. Thank you. I'm not expected to do something when he's fluttering about as a swarm, am I? Because he does seem to be more vigorous, so I'm assuming I'm proceeding with the fight properly, as I am. Yeah, no, that's... No matter what attack he does, I don't think it's a good time to heal immediately after that huge volley. Oh well. I hate how he homes in on you. That means if you're not ready to dodge, if you just stock still trying to heal, you're gonna get hit. Oh, I tried to dodge, but I guess I was still stuck on the healing animation even after it completed. That's kind of annoying. That would have been a good chance to heal had I executed that a little bit better, but oh well. Oh, come on. He can't have too much more HP, can he? Oh, of course he can. I know the bosses in this game. They'll have exactly enough HP to force me to do another attempt, I'm sure. Come on. That was an interesting little spider-like thing that he did. Come on. There we go, I think. Was there another phase? Of course, yeah. Am I expected? I feel like I'm expected to do something there. Like, do I have to attack the thing in the center? Is that what's going on? Because no, this pattern is changing. He's getting slight changes to his attacks, so... Well, hopefully I am doing the right thing and can survive just a little bit longer. Yeah, I need that, like, some sort of speed boost or the charm that allows me to move while healing. Something that just gives me a few more good opportunities to heal, you know? That would help so much. Oh, come on. Yeah, he had a bit of a larger hitbox than I thought. Okay, that's it. That's gotta be it. Ooh, that was a rough fight. But I put on a good show for the crowd. Can't do much better than that. Bravo, my friend. Hear how the crowd adores you. They've not seen such a show in a long time. Look here, how our child has grown, nourished and strengthened by the heat of our passionate dance. You know, of all the things I would have thought I would do in Hollow Knight, raising a child wasn't one of them, but hey, what do you know? You can never know the twists and turns that life will take, I guess. The two of you will feature in many tragedies and triumphs together, I'm sure. Well, about that, I've kind of already beaten the base game, so, maybe not many. And so, our great ritual nears its end. Will you continue to harvest the flame, even though now you surely see the path it illuminates for us? Our scarlet eyes will watch you keenly, friend. Go out into the darkness. Harvest the last lingering embers of this kingdom. Then return to me, and we will complete our dance. Okay, one final step it sounds like. Ooh. Do I get a little bit of a reward for my hard work? I do. A charm notch? I was expecting a charm, but a charm notch might even be a little bit better. Oh, the strong man's gone. I hope he's doing okay. He's probably just taking a break. He can't be playing music all day after all. Are they thinking anything new? Nope, same stuff as before. So yeah, it looks like I have one more hunt to go, and then the actual final encounter of the DLC. So... where am... ooh, let's read that. Grimm, Master of the Grimm Troop. Through dream I travel at Lantern's call, to consume the flames of a kingdom's fall. Hey, it sounds like an interesting job, if nothing else. So let's see where I need to go for the last flames. Okay, I think that's the glowing mark over here is just marking where the initial lantern was, yeah. That's nothing I need to worry about just yet. So all the way in the distant village, although since it's by a stag station, that shouldn't be so bad. Down in the fungal waste, it looks like. And then... Ancient Basin. Okay, none of the locations are too tough to get to. Let's get the distant village one first, since that's far and away the easiest. It's just a quick trip by stag, and then a short jaunt, and that's it. Good to see this stag station actually coming in handy. Because, like, when you get over to the village, unless you get there before you get the Dream Nail, which is unlikely considering how tough Deep Nest is, you basically do everything possible there on your first trip, which kind of makes the stag useless. I'm hoping this area has more involved with it on Hornet's DLC, considering, you know, she's from here. So I guess it's off over to the left then somewhere? somewhere, surely? Am I gonna have to drop down, or maybe it's in one of the houses? Because if I drop down, I'm gonna have to... Oh! They're talking now. You came. Oh, it's Broom, the accordion guy. Nice. The red flame I've gathered from this dead kingdom. You would claim it for our master, for his final act. The ritual plays itself out once more. We are like notes in an old, old song. You and me. Oh, am I gonna have to fight him? Endless repeating songs of sacrifice, of servitude, for the ritual, for the troop, for the master. Even this child was born into invisible chains. So we serve. Thus it has ever been. Yes? Take the flame then. It is why you came here. Oh good, I don't have to fight him. It is done, and yet... It is not merely by fortune that we meet here, in the darkest, furthest reaches of the world, where my master's scarlet eyes cannot see us. A song that never ends is no song at all. You take part in the ritual, yet I sense you truly have no master. Is it so? Perhaps together we can banish that livid flame, and let this dead kingdom rest in peace. If you wish to silence the endless song, meet me where it began. But if you return to the master and complete the ritual, as long as you do it without regret, I will bear you no hatred. Interesting, so... Sounds like there are going to be two paths to completion. Meet him where it began. That... Does he mean the void? The void is kind of the beginning of everything in this kingdom, isn't it? Meet me where it began. What about his thoughts? Did they say anything? Yes, we are merely vessels for the flame, but will we always empty? Well, I'm going to collect the flame first, then I might take a quick stop over by the void, just to see if there's anything I can do there. For now, though, time to find some fire. Time to Prometheus this place up. Okay, so it's not just in Deep Nest, but deep down in the fungal core. Nice to see this area actually being used for something else, and this time it's not going to be done without a fight. Alright, so more intense fireball patterns. Nothing too bad, nothing I can't deal with. And he charges even faster and does 2 pips of damage. This might actually be a little bit rough then. Okay, he's also got crazy ass Dracula teleporting fire attacks. That's not great. I'm just gonna hope I can do enough damage to kill him before he kills me, which is not guaranteed. Not with crazy ass stuff like this. Is that it? Oh, thank you, little buddy, so much. You are such a help. Okay. Okay, third and final flame thingy. I forget what they're called. I think they're just called flames or whatever. I guess technically 9th, since this is the 9th overall. So while fighting this dude, I guess I'll start discussing. So I did look up a little bit more about the 2 endings of this. Just because I wanted to make sure that they weren't mutually exclusive, and as it turns out, that's, well, not the case. You can get one ending or the other, but not both. Not on the same file. So the first ending is just going through and completing the ritual, doing what Grimm wants you to. And doing so has you have an epic boss battle with Grimm, as well as getting a pretty nice charm as a reward. The other path is that the strongman was talking about, returning to the start where you first initialized the DLC, initiated I guess I'll say, and you can break the lantern and end things that way. Doing so results in the DLC being over, and you getting an alternate charm as a reward, but no boss fight, and like no epic conclusion. And a lot of people looked like they were complaining about it, and I can understand why. In a game that's this long, and with this content being buried around halfway in, having there be basically an ending that is mutually exclusive is not perhaps the best thing. Because then it means if you want both endings, you have to either have had the forethought to have made a backup save and restore that after getting your first ending, or you have to go through and play through the game at least around halfway once more. And of course, not everyone has the time or even the wherewithal to want to do that, even if they do love the game. On the other hand, I have to admit I do kind of like it, because I like the idea of making choices in video games and having those choices be final. I like experiencing as much content as possible as well, but sometimes not being able to experience something is worthwhile as well, if that makes sense. I think the main issue, though, is just the fact that the two paths, I feel like either way you should end up having a boss battle. One path should not be objectively better than the other, and as it is, one path is kind of objectively worse, lacking a major boss fight, which is one of the major reasons you'd be wanting to do this content in the first place. So, while I can understand what Team Cherry was going for, I feel like their execution wasn't the best. If it wasn't obvious, I am going to complete the ritual so I can have that badass boss battle. I would much rather have that than just a slightly cleverer alternate ending with a different bonus reward. If I ever do that second playthrough, and I'll do the second ending, it would make more sense there too anyway, since that would be with the Steel Soul mode, where one death and the game is over. So having the less combat intensive path would make sense. I hear a thumping. Is that a heart? Is he tapping? What's going on? Yeah, that's like the beating of a heart. Nightmare King Grimm. Okay, that was certainly a boss intro. How did I not take damage? Thank you, iframes, I guess. Oh, and of course he does 2 hits. With everything, too. Okay, this is a difficult boss fight. This is a very difficult boss fight. Okay then. Kind of wish my soul was restored, but no such luck. Might change my charm setup then, considering that. Because I'd have to go all the way back out and rest just to stock up on soul. Maybe I'll do that after I have a feel for his patterns, but that might take a while because yikes. This guy, aside from Radiance, I don't think any other boss does 2 damage with every one of their attacks. That shows you just how much of the real deal that Grimm is. And unlike the Radiance, who is mostly kind of sluggish and honestly lazy and just has a bunch of things attacking around you, he's swift and attacks directly, while still not giving you much time to do much. Christ, yeah, it's the fact that everything he does 2 damage that's ridiculous. It's not just his own attacks, but all the extra projectiles he causes as well. My goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one more go just to see if I can make some headway with my current charm setup. But I think I might have to just equip a whole bunch of charms that give me more health. I'll probably go with the temporary health, the armor, whatever it's called, I can't remember now. Because I'm not getting chances to heal not doing this fight. Oh boy, this might be the toughest content in the game thus far. Actually, I think I'm safe in saying that it absolutely is. And that's assuming that he doesn't gain any new moves or get tougher as the fight goes on, which is probably gonna be the case. Good lord, even just approaching him is nigh impossible. Yeah, I need more health. Yeah, I think that'll do. 21 pips of health. I think this will give me a shot, at the very least, of learning his patterns. And then maybe once I do that and actually get good at avoiding them, then I can change my charm setup to something else. For now though, this is my best option. So this will let me take 10 hits, and then I'll be left with one last pip. So, let's see how well I do. I think I'm gonna stop speaking just because I'm gonna need to focus 100% on fighting this dude. Okay, well that's one phase over with at least, but I don't exactly have a good shot at whatever's to come, considering all the damage I stupidly took. I like this attack. This just gives me a whole bunch of options to damage him. And it's a really easy to avoid attack pattern, at least as long as I react to it in time. Everything else though, yikes. Yeah, okay. I was hoping this attempt might be a good one, but yeah. Kind of really screwed up there towards the middle. Oh my goodness, I think it's at long last over. Okay, achievement unlocked. I think I'm done with this DLC, or the main part of it at least. And I think I have a new friend. I believe that made a change to the charm. Grimm Child. Symbol of a completed ritual, contains a living scarlet flame. So, one of the other charms you get from this DLC is unlocked via taking the other path, so I'm curious how to get these other two. I might have to look that up. Actually, I will look that up. Otherwise, it looks like the only other person who stuck around was Divine. She got anything to say about things? Nope, she's just concerned about herself. Fair enough. Okay, that was a pretty fun boss battle. I can't really say I had too many complaints about it. I think really my only complaint is a greater complaint that I've had in the past with, whenever you get hit, there's that whole temporary slowdown / freeze time, and all the, like, the visual effects and the sound effects, that big whoosh noise. I really don't like that, because that makes it really difficult once your iframes have gone from taking damage, of avoiding whatever comes next. There were a lot of times when I would take damage from Grimm, and I would immediately take another hit after, largely because of all the stuff that occurred during the first hit, making it more difficult to find where where I was on the screen and thus how to avoid whatever follow-ups he had. But outside of that persistent issue, and that's more of a game mechanics thing in general, that was a really good boss. And though I would like to say that's it for the DLC, there's one other thing that the Grimm Troop added. It's called the Path of Pain, and it's located within the White Palace, so look forward to that because I sure as hell am not.